You know, this channel has been primarily focused on music. A topic I feel very strongly about. I'm a huge music nerd. As if you couldn't already tell. I love discovering music I haven't heard before, learning the histories of bands I like, keeping up with music news. I've even tried to learn a few instruments. Mastering none of them.
What was it? It's like, which is the better emo song? Is like The Black Parade or I Write Sins Not Tragedies?
But did you know that my first love was movies? When I was growing up, my dream was to be an actor and a filmmaker. I wanted to write, direct, and star in my own movies, just like Kevin Smith, one of my idols since I saw Dogma and Mallrats at a super young age.
How do you propose I do that?
You stink palm it.
It's a stink palm.
You take your hand, you stick it in your ass.
I was even gonna go to school for filmmaking, but you know, I couldn't pay for the school and shit happens. We're not gonna talk about that. I obsessed over movies. Studying trivia on sites like IMDb, collecting scripts, and listening to movie soundtracks. In fact, the soundtrack is one of my favorite parts of any movie. Surprised?
Neither am I.
The right song can make or break a specific scene in any movie. And sometimes songs from movies become smash hits. They become staples in the music world, to the point that they get covered by other artists. Sometimes these covers are kick-ass.
Kick-ass.
And sometimes, well, they don't. That's right, it's another covers video.
Oh yeah!
We're just gonna ignore that throughout that whole intro, I did not have my bracelets on. Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Trevor and I am eternally uncool. I make videos about music, music culture, and anything that interests me. But mostly music right now. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and watching the rest of this video. I've done a few of these cover videos already. I enjoy them.
They're fun.
I'm kind of a connoisseur of covers, whether they be good or bad. But I feel like the format of these videos was getting kinda stale. I want to shake it up a bit, try new things. So I thought that I would incorporate my love for music and my love for movies, and talk about cover songs that are in some way related to films. The idea for this video is to take covers that were either done for movies, are cover songs from movies, or covers of songs that are highly associated with movies.
Does that make sense?
I have compiled 6 cover songs. 3 thumbs up and 3 thumbs down. We're gonna take a look at them, compare them to the original, and you guys know how this works by now. So grab a soda, grab some popcorn, get comfortable, and let's get into the video.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Titanic is a pretty well-known movie, right? Everybody knows Titanic by this point. It's one of those ubiquitous movies that even if you haven't seen it, you know about Titanic. All of the important moments have become pop culture references.
I'm king of the world.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
I'll never let go, Jack. But she did. She did let go, and we shouldn't have forgiven her for that. She let Jack die. Sorry. And along with the movie, everyone knows the movie's classic theme song, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. The 1997 hit has become an entity unto itself. It's one of those songs that we all know, whether it's from the movie that it was written for or the countless memes that it inspired. It's definitely earned its spot in popular culture. It's a great song. It's been covered by people like Kenny G, who did a saxophone rendition, Postmodern Jukebox, who did it in the style of Jackie Wilson, and indie pop band Muna did a really beautiful cover for Triple J's Like a Version. But the cover I really want to talk about today is by British power metal legends Dragonforce.
You don't like Dragonforce?
Usually when metal bands cover pop songs, I am not into it. Most of the time it's just heavy instrumentals and gutturals, which kinda takes away from the original piece of music. I understand that that's what some people like about metal covers,
But they're wrong.
Dragonforce, however, is not a guttural band. They're power metal, and speed metal, and symphonic metal. Celine Dion's original is your typical pop ballad. It's very slow and emotional, but it builds and it has these grandiose moments. Dragonforce, on the other hand, turns everything up about, 20 notches, and makes the song an absolute
Headbanger.
You have Mark Hudson's soaring vocals, mixed with the masterful guitar work of Herman Lee and Sam Topman. Everything about this cover elevates the source material. Dragonforce's cover of Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On is probably one of the best metal covers of a pop song. It's fast, it's fun, and it does the original justice. If you're looking for a solid cover of a classic movie theme, you can't go wrong with this one.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
There used to be a time in our society when blockbuster movies had kick-ass soundtracks.
Kick-ass.
Not only were these the biggest movies of the summer, but they came with hit singles by some of the biggest acts of that era. And these movies would often tie into those singles' music videos, which I always thought was super cool. And one of the most memorable songs from this phenomenon is Kiss from a Rose by Seal, from the 1995 Batman Forever soundtrack. I can't play clips of this song or the cover version of this song because it's owned by a very specific major label, and anytime I use music from that major label, they destroy my video. So I'm just gonna have to sing it for you.
Jesus, God, no.
Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
What? You don't want me to sing it. You'd rather cut your ears off. Noted. I'll put this back. This song is a classic. It's just a perfect mix of rock, R&B, and soul. It would be hard to replicate Seal's iconic performance of arguably his biggest song. It's been done by everyone from Pentatonix to the cast of that really bad Vacation sequel/remake. But the cover I want to talk about today was done by TikTok musician phenomenon Jairus Johnson. Now I'm gonna preface this by saying that I like Jairus Johnson. I used to watch him all the time when I was on TikTok. He has a great voice, and I think he did a really good job of mixing rock and metal and hip-hop. He's charismatic, and he knows how to get people to watch him.
With that being said,
I don't think this cover does him or Seal any justice. His vocals aren't bad. They're good.
they're fine.
But I think there's points where he was trying just a little bit too hard. Like, the opening sounds weird to me, where he's vocally mimicking the instrumentation. It just doesn't sound right to me for some reason. And the chorus just doesn't have the same bravado and power as Seal's original. Seal's was soulful and had this R&B tinge to it. But Jairus Johnson's version just sounds like gravelly butt rock. This cover isn't the worst thing that I've ever heard, but I can't help but feel disappointed. Jairus Johnson is pretty good at covering songs and transforming them into something different. But this rendition of Kiss from a Rose just isn't it.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I feel like Shrek is one of those movies that everyone knows. Whether you know it from the countless memes that have been created over the years, or because you're like me and it was a childhood staple. I remember really liking this movie. It was the animated movie of 2001. Now, Is it better than Shrek 2? That's a discussion for another video. But the answer is no. Shrek 2 is the better movie. If you disagree,
You're wrong.
what isn't debatable is that there is a song that will be forever intertwined with this film. So much so that you can't think of one without the other. They're like a package deal. That song, of course, is All Star by Smash Mouth. There's actually a few songs associated with the Shrek franchise. You have Rufus Wainwright's cover of Hallelujah, Counting Crows' Accidentally in Love, Living La Vida Loca, I'm a Believer. But All Star has become the go-to song for all the memes and all the references. When you hear the words, "Somebody once told me," you automatically think of that big green ogre voiced by Mike Myers. Or at least I do. What I'm trying to say is this song is a classic, as memeable as it has become. It's managed to stay in the ears of listeners for over 25 years. It's been covered by everyone from Rucka Rucka Ali. God, remember him? And, of course, Kids Bop. Jesus Christ, are there any decent covers of this song?
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid.
French easycore band Chunk, No Captain Chunk covered this band for the Fearless Records compilation Punk Goes 90s Volume 2. On this specific volume, you have a few pretty good covers of classic 90s songs. You have Ice Nine Kills covering Green Day's Good Riddance, Get Scared doing My Own Worst Enemy. Wait, I hope this wasn't the incarnation of the band that had that creepy guy in it. And you have Memphis Mayfire doing Stone Temple Pilots' Interstate Love Song. But Captain Chunk's Smash Mouth cover is the one that really stuck with me. This version of the song takes the original and amps it up by adding chugging guitars, as well as group chant vocals. A staple in easycore if there ever was one. Bert's vocals are unique. I kinda like that his French accent slips out a bit when he sings in English. And even the uncleans don't sound out of place.
Now you're a rock star.
This is just a metalcore cover done right.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I don't watch a lot of Disney movies, not because I have anything against them or I feel too old or too manly for them. I just forget to watch them until someone shows them to me. I haven't seen the last few Pixar movies. The last Pixar movie I remember watching was probably Monsters University. And that was like, what, 10 years ago? But I always seem to be inundated with Pixar and Disney references in social media. That's how I found out about songs like We Don't Talk About Bruno, a song that references a major plot point in a film I have never seen. But yet it gets stuck in my head almost once every single month. Why don't they talk about Bruno? What did he do?
I don't know.
But I know that hook. There's another song from Encanto that I remember being pretty viral a few years ago. Although, not for the right reasons. And it had nothing to do with the original film or the song therein. Instead, it had to do with, you guessed it, a cover. And this cover was done by polarizing musician / performance artist Amanda Palmer.
I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. I'm as tough as the crust of the earth is.
Some people really like Amanda Palmer and her work with the cabaret alternative rock band The Dresden Dolls. Others criticize her methods of crowdfunding and other things that I can't really talk about on this channel. Personally, I was never really that big of a fan of hers. I never got into the Dresden Dolls or her solo work. It just wasn't my thing. And she also reminded me of every over-the-top theater kid that I met when I was working as an actor in community theater. And this cover is proof of that. Everything about this song is just too much. The performance, the overdramatic singing, the everything. The everything? The everything. Jessica Darrow's original version from the movie has a vulnerability to it that's very understated, whereas Palmer brings everything to the forefront, and I feel like that really hinders her cover. But there's also a confidence in Darrow's version that just isn't there in Palmer's. Amanda Palmer takes a song about vulnerability and the pressures of being an older sibling and turns it into just theater kid vamping. If you like Amanda Palmer, that's fine. If you like this cover, I mean, I guess that's fine too, but I just can't.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This next cover really took me by surprise. I already had a whole other entry written that I just deleted so I could add this one. This script had been written for weeks, but this next cover blew me away so much that I just had to include it. And you'll see why in a minute.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
The Goo Goo Dolls are a very underrated band. The Goo Goo Dolls are a very underrated band. I mean, yeah, they're a super successful band with several massive hits and are well beloved by Gen X and millennials alike. But I don't think they get enough credit for just being a very solid alternative rock band. They have some great songs that really stand the test of time. I feel like if they weren't so popular in the mainstream, they could have been kind of like the Replacements of the 90s. But they wrote too many catchy songs that just begged to be on radio. And the biggest one of those songs has to be Iris. Once again, I can't play this song or cover because of a certain major label. So again, I'm gonna have to sing it.
And I don't want the world to see me.
Sorry? You're unsubscribing. My singing was that bad. Okay, please don't go. I'll put this back. Iris was a smash hit in 1998 when it was released on the soundtrack to the film City of Angels. I've never seen this movie, but Iris was a song that was constantly on repeat for me growing up. It's one of the best-selling songs of all time. It's been covered by everyone from Phoebe Bridgers to Sleeping with Sirens. But very recently, it has been covered by an artist who's appeared in this cover series multiple times, and not favorably. But today, they get a redemption arc. Because MGK's cover of Iris is fucking dope. Initially, I was worried. MGK isn't the best singer. He's kind of mumbly when it comes to soft songs, and can't really hold a tune when it comes to something a bit more high energy. But any reservations I had went out the door when I heard the cover. MGK's mumbly vocals actually kind of work with the verses. And he does a pretty good job with the chorus too. Plus, the addition of a female vocalist in Julia Wolf really adds a lot to this cover. And the instrumentation is actually really cool, with subtle electronics that are kind of airy and ambient. You still have the heavy guitars and drums, which sound great here, by the way. But I think this cover has a lot of atmosphere. I really wish this song wasn't owned by a certain major label, because I really want you guys to hear it. I'll link all the covers down in the description if I remember to, but you can look them up. What am I doing your job for you? I know, I'm just as surprised as you are. I wasn't expecting MGK to just come out and redeem himself with a good cover, but he did. And I'm man enough to admit when I've been defeated. So congratulations, MGK. You finally earned a good cover rating from Eternally Uncool, the highest honor in the land. Seriously, go check out this cover. It's probably one of my favorite songs of the year.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
This last entry is more of a remix rather than a cover. But I was having a surprisingly difficult time finding bad cover songs from movies. So I'm gonna count it anyway. If you have a problem with that,
I don't care.
You guys know I'm a huge Fall Out Boy fan, right? I've been listening to them since I was 15. They're one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time. I own almost every album they've done, even the ones I don't really like that much. Pretty much every project they do, I'm into it. But there was a song they released in 2016 that I did not like at all. And that is their cover / remix of the Ghostbusters theme for the 2016 Ghostbusters remake.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Ray Parker Jr.'s 1984 theme song for the Ghostbusters movie is an all-time classic. If you say, "Who you gonna call?" the most common response you'll get is Ghostbusters. This cover was released between the last single of American Beauty, American Psycho, and the first single of the much maligned Mania. And the sound of this cover kind of fits both of those eras. There's a lot of electronic elements mixed with some sampling of the 1984 source material. Patrick's vocals are good. They're always good. He's a great singer no matter what he sings. He could sing The Phone Book and I would listen. That doesn't make any sense. Phone books don't exist anymore. But the melody just sounds off in the verses. It's very staccato. And the chorus is just, "I'm not afraid," like 4 times. For a band like Fall Out Boy, who is known for their sharp songwriting, this song just feels kind of lightweight. It really doesn't do any of their talents any justice. I'd rather just listen to the original 1980s version. And just forget that one of my favorite bands released this fat heaping pile of no. What do you think of my picks? Do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Are there any other movie-related covers you want me to talk about if I do a sequel to this video?
See what I did there?
Let me know in the comments. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then I highly recommend smashing that like button and sharing this video with everyone you know. I am a small, independent content creator who does pretty much everything on his own. And I'm really trying to grow my channel, so every like, every comment, every share, any interaction with this video at all really helps me out a lot. I'm also trying to grow my Instagram account, so if you want to follow me there, you can. With all that being said, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Trevor. Stay uncool. And that's the end of the video. Goodbye.